Well, a couple of weeks ago, we talked about the start of the spring fighting season. Now there's been more violence erupting in Pakistan today as the Taliban declares, quote, full-out war in the region. Pakistani television stations showing images of security forces taking up positions at an airport training facility where attacks were carried out for the second time in 3 days. The second wave of fighting comes after gunmen laid siege to the main airport in a raid that left 36 people dead. The onslaught of attacks is in retaliation to a U.S. drone strike which killed a top Taliban commander. At least that's what the Taliban says. Although Pakistan's Civil Aviation Authority says the airport is secure, all flights to and from that airport have been suspended. Back in Washington, the House Armed Services Committee said they will continue to investigate President Obama's decision to exchange an American soldier for 5 high-ranking Taliban officials. The announcement came yesterday as the senior administration officials briefed members of Congress about the details surrounding the exchange for Sergeant Bo Bergdahl. Republicans say they are furious that they had not been told about the release of the 5 Gitmo detainees. Now, although President Obama said he has to keep the details of the rescue secret, 80 to 90 members of his own administration knew about the deal well in advance.
There are a lot of questions being asked by members from both parties at the time. I have one myself. And it's just simply this disregard of the Constitution.
As was the case last week with senators, the administration used this session with the House to show lawmakers that 90-second proof of life video, not this one, but an earlier video, which reportedly showed a debilitated Bo Bergdahl. And in Las Vegas, police are saying the couple blamed for killing 2 police officers and a Walmart shopper yesterday had a long history of anti-government views, and some of the evidence found at the crime scene seems to support that.
The suspects pulled the officers out of the booth and onto the ground, where they placed a Gadsden flag, which is a "Don't Tread on Me" yellow flag on the body of Officer Beck. They also threw a swastika on top of his body.
Well, man, according to police, the 2 officers were having lunch at a pizza buffet when they were killed. The couple then went to that Walmart nearby, and at that store they shot and killed a customer who was there in the entryway. After a firefight with police inside Walmart, police say the couple committed suicide. Now, earlier this year, the husband and wife were kicked off of the Cliven Bundy Ranch, where government protesters, of course, faced off against federal authorities over cattle grazing rights. The son of Bundy said that the couple, quote, was very radical, and that their views did not align with the protesters here. So a lot of folks will try to conflate these 2 issues. But there you have the quote from Bundy's people saying that they did not want anything to do with these 2 killers.
And no hardworking youngster in America should be priced out of a higher education, and the rising cost of college has left America's middle class feeling trapped. That's what President Obama says. Yesterday, the president once again used his pen to show Congress who was mightier. Here's the president signing an executive order coming up. An order he says could help an additional 5 million student loan debtors. An existing plan lets borrowers pay no more than 10% of their monthly income, but it's only available for those who began to borrow after October 2007. Obama's memo expands that program and makes it retroactive. He's also calling on Congress to pass more sweeping legislation that would let college graduates refinance their loans.
Well, also officials continue to work to improve conditions at a makeshift center in southern Arizona, where immigration authorities are housing hundreds of migrant children. The Department of Homeland Security started flying illegal immigrants to Arizona from the Rio Grande Valley in Texas last month, after the number of immigrants, including more than 48,000 children traveling there on their own, overwhelmed the Border Patrol there. Immigration and Customs Enforcement says the kids are from Central America mostly, and they also claim they are fleeing extreme poverty and violence.
And as we mentioned earlier, First Lady Hillary Clinton is very busy right now promoting her new book, Hard Choices. During an interview on ABC News, Clinton says she's encouraged to run for president because of Republican criticism of her handling of the deadly attacks on the U.S. consulate in Libya back in 2012.
Would give anything on earth if this had not happened. And I certainly would wish that we had made some of the changes that came to our attention to make as a result of the investigation.
And Clinton went on to say that the Benghazi inquiry from Republicans gives her a greater incentive to run for president because she considers the multiple investigations into the attacks, quote, minor league ball for a country of the United States stature. But she says she's still undecided. The interview publicizing her new book, Hard Choices, highlighted some of the key lines of criticism Clinton could face if she runs for president in 2 years.
So we'll hold our breath on that one, Miranda. Meanwhile, Donald Sterling says not so fast. The deal is off and a lawsuit is back on. The Los Angeles Clipper owner is withdrawing his support for sale of the team. He now plans to go ahead with a $1 billion lawsuit against the NBA. Sterling has seemingly changed his mind multiple times about what he wants to happen with the team. In late May, former Microsoft CEO Steve Ballmer laid down a $2 billion offer to buy the Clippers. Now it appears that Sterling wants to hang on to that team.